I am Bohdan Vykhor, CEO of WWF Ukraine, and before the war we are mainly focused on conservation of freshwater, precise old-growth forest, sustainable forest management, and protection of rare species and their habitats. And we also deal with sustainable agriculture in Ukraine and climate adaptation. We are part of the bigger Central European office, which includes another neighboring countries such as Slovakia, Hungary, Romania, Bulgaria, and Czech Republic.
How long you've been involved in Worldwide Fund projects?
Actually, I'm working at WWF Ukraine for 6 years and as a position of the CEO for 2 past years. Before that, WWF worked in Ukraine as a part of the Danube Carpathian program for over 20 years. So it was mostly project organization coordinated from Vienna office. But 3 years ago, we opened a Ukrainian entity, and now we are dealing as national representative of WWF in Ukraine.
You mentioned Romania. Do you have some projects, some cooperation with the Romanian NGO?
Yeah, we are closely cooperating with Romanian WWF office. We have joint project. For example, we are having project on Danube Delta and dealing with sturgeon conservation and sustainable fishing, and also restocking and sustainable water management. In addition to that, we also closely cooperate with Romanian WWF office on large carnivore conservation, because in Ukrainian Carpathians we are having joint project on large carnivore monitoring, and also we're dealing with connectivity issue and crucial habitats recovery for bears and another large carnivores.
Please tell me about the discussion here at the media center in Kyiv. Which were your main points in this discussion?
Today we discuss the result of the war and impact of war on the environment here in Ukraine as a result of Russian invasion of Ukraine. And from another side, we discussed what we could do in the future on post-war recovery. So our primary focus as the biggest environmental NGO in the world is to make sure that the recovery of Ukraine will be climate and nature friendly. And if you're talking regarding particularly plan of post-war recovery of Ukraine, it should be integrated, and there should be clear green environmental component, and countries should not neglect environmental security, because it will be base for sustainable recovery and facing those challenges we are having right now, we had before war, and will have in the future. And I would like to connect this to the building of climate resilience, because based on those global analytical report presented for economical forum in Davos, climate issues was on the top of those challenges people will face in the future, and namely Ukraine especially. And we would like to make sure that those post-war recovery of Ukraine will be sustainable and green, and consider the EU approximation process. What does it mean for Europe, for example? So we would like to make sure that we have sustainable agriculture, and we will not create another desert in the middle of Europe, which require sustainable water management, sustainable agriculture, and close cooperation between different sectors of Ukrainian economy, which means energy and transport sector also. What I'm observing right now, and based on my personal experience on collaboration with Ministry of Environment of Ukraine, they are quite open, and I have from time to time meetings or professional discussion between state representatives on topics related to post-war recovery of Ukraine in the future. And they are quite open, I would say. Is there some issue? Because we may have our vision and state authorities might another vision. But what we are going to do here in Ukraine is to implement best practice available across the world in the post-war recovery of Ukraine. And we would like to deliver those messages to decision makers. And sometimes we have different points of view on the same topic. But we are trying to negotiate and to came to conclusion what is better to the country in general, and of course to the nature. I would say the key issue is the trans-sectoral integration of different strategies of post-war recovery of Ukraine. We will never have green nature without having impact on energy sector, industry sector, agriculture sector if there are not included crucial ecological components. So now we are moving to the finalization of general post-war recovery strategy of Ukraine, and we have those sectoral recommendations. And now we came to the crucial stage where it should be integration of different working plans like energy and environment, or environment and agriculture. And here is the most important part of those process, design of the general centric vision of post-war recovery of Ukraine. And I believe at this stage, President should say his vision of Ukraine 2100, how we see the country in general, and how we are going to achieve this, and what kind of criteria we would like to have. And I believe that environmental security should be crucial criteria of those post-war recovery plan, trans-sectoral one. I personally really care about people who lost their homes and lost their lives. So I'm really sorry to those people who have those challenges and losses in their life.
And regarding the environment or nature or animals and so on.
War is total disaster, so huge territories of Ukraine totally destroyed, and there is quite huge problem we are facing right now, and we will face in the future because it takes decade to recover. And I would like emphasize that there is indirect impact of war on environment because we have problem related to the food security on global scale, because Ukraine on expert thoughts could feed 400 millions of people, which is 10 times higher than the Ukrainian population. And this war could actually affected on the food supply chain, which may cause the immigrants flow to the European countries. And it's like indirect and sometimes not clear consequences of those invasion.